No choking allowed now. No choking allowed.
No,
We got to pull it together. Come on, you know.
she's saying that for
Her,
herself.
her.
She's trying to.
And we get started with that. But I think we got everything lined up for tonight. Oh, I don't
No, we
know
do not.
what's
Who
the
goes first?
what's the order of the weekend review.
Right.
You're in charge. You pick it.
Oh, I pick. Okay, Victoria, you go first.
Okay then.
You go first, and
All right.
I'll put you in the middle, Ruth.
Of course.
I'll, look, what do you mean?
I'm a middle child, so of course
Oh,
I'm in the middle.
okay, okay. Next week you go be first. Okay, Victoria, Ruth, me, and then Victoria will come back with you for the bio. Right,
Okay, we got it.
right.
All
Sounds
right.
like all of us just have something. I got exciting news from my weekend review too.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah, everybody got something good to say. Ready. Okay, I think we got everything that we need. We got a great guest,
Yes.
got a great book.
Yep.
It's a delight to talk to, so I'm excited
Great
to have
friends.
the show
What
tonight.
else can we ask for? I'm telling you.
I know. All is well. All is good. So we're about ready to get started. We can tell Alan to hit that other button and we'll be
Yep.
ready.
Roll 'em.
Alrighty, time to roll that beautiful bean footage.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Authors Up. You have tuned in to our program, broadcasting from ALH Broadcasting, an affiliate of the Streaming Inspirational Broadcast Network. And I am here with my three friends, and I'm just hoping that we will pull it together and be very
Oh,
professional
good
tonight.
luck.
And
Yeah,
Yep.
good luck. I like the teeth showing. First look. Ding, ding.
okay,
Yep.
all right, here we go. We are already getting started. So let me just say good evening to Miss Ruth E. Griffin. Good evening, Ruth.
Good
How are
evening.
you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am well. Also, I got my nap in today, so
All right. That's why she's jolly.
and crazy. Victoria, how are you this
I'm
evening?
wonderful.
Awesome. Well, ladies, we're going to go ahead and get started as we usually do. And we are going to start with our weekend review. And Miss Queen Victoria, you are first up tonight.
But let me tell
How
y'all,
was your week?
the week was good till we got to Friday.
Uh-oh. What happened Friday?
I went to see the ortho doctor about my knee. I had my second opinion because I wanted a second opinion. My knee has just been hurting. I have a torn meniscus and it's arthritic in origin. And I wanted to see what else could be done because I didn't, just wasn't quite happy with the first diagnosis, whatever. So he looked over my scans and all of that. And all he could offer as well was we could try the shots, the cortisone shots, gel shots, and then surgery if all else fails, So I was a big girl. I did not cry. I whined a little bit. I phoned a friend. But I got that shot. I got the shot. Oh, okay. I had the lady. There was a nurse who came and helped me. I squeezed the poor lady hands.
Oh,
I,
goodness.
I was squeezing her hand so tight, even I recognized it was tight. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." The whole time, but he still had that needle in my leg. I was. Then he told me I'd go home and ice it and stay off of it for a few days. And um, I'm not seeing as many benefits as I wanted to see.
Well, it's still only Sunday, so
Right,
benefits
right.
might kick in by like Wednesday.
I'm hoping so. That's what I'm hoping. I'm praying so.
Something tells me there's going to be trouble if it doesn't kick in by Wednesday.
It was really his bedside manner was so good, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I would get this done again if." And he says, "Well, I'm only going to be here till the end of September." I was like, "What? You got me to do this, and then you're not going to be here? What?" But okay, that's enough about me. And then I'm just really excited that I got my show coming up, getting things
Yes.
prepped for the show, living life victoriously. I got my little butterfly logo I created, and got my background came yesterday, and I just started to plan what I'm gonna talk about it, and it's really becoming real, and still hearing from God about what I'm doing, and it's just I'm so excited, y'all. I don't know if I'll be able to talk by next week. Well, we got the
Now,
dates.
when is it? When does it start now?
August 14th. It's going to be the second
Okay.
and fourth Monday of each month. So for
Okay.
this month, it's the 14th and the 28th. So I'm really excited. First show is going to be my premiere show.
Yes.
So talk about why and how all this came to be, and that'll take 30 minutes right there. I'm just excited. I hope everybody just tunes in, and thank you for all those who already expressed support and are praying for me. That's what I need the most. It's a little scary, doing something you've never done before. Good evening, Linda.
Oh, but you have. You have.
I mean, you're doing it now.
Yeah, I know. But I have you guys are there. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different when it's you. Just you. So
well, you're going to be fine. We're rooting for you, and this has been a long time in the planning, so it will be great. And I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. How about you, Miss Ruth?
Well, I want to share that I haven't broken anything this past week, so I'm.
Hey!
I know, right? No, in fact, I get to wear my lovely post-op shoe for another week, little over a week. Maybe as long as the X-ray looks great. We'll see. My toe still hurts, so yeah. We'll see what they say. But either way, it's going to be going with me to Oklahoma when my daughter graduates from basic training this Wednesday, this Friday. Yeah, so I'm excited. She made it through the Forge week. I saw some pictures online. They've got a Facebook page all set up for it. It looked really hot. It looked really hot. So
yeah, I heard it is there. It's hot there.
Yeah, no, and the high is supposed to be like 107 on Thursday. So
no.
We were texting with my daughter just earlier, and she, we were like, okay, well, what's the dress code? She's like, well, just wear something nice, just not like gym clothes.
Right.
I'm like, well, I was actually thinking, minimal, the least amount of clothes that I have to wear.
Sundress with no sleeves.
Oh my! At
Do you have one of those portable fans that I see people?
No, but I've seen some. I was talking to someone today who had one, and he was saying that you charge it up. It's a USB charge, so you don't have to worry about batteries. And it took him all through Disneyland and through Service Today and one other thing. So I'm like,
from one charge. Oh, that's great.
One charge. So I'm like, I may need to invest in that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Is it outdoor? Is it outdoor graduation?
Of course it is. Because why wouldn't it be?
Woo! You'll make it, Ruth.
Oh yeah, no, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm working 2 days this week. I don't know how useful I will be because my mind is already in Oklahoma.
With your baby. That's
my
right.
baby. Yeah, I'm excited.
Good.
Awesome,
I'm
awesome.
looking forward to
Yeah.
hearing about it next week.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, Andrea, how was your week?
My week was interesting. I went from one end of the spectrum to the other, and
Oh,
Okay.
I'll make it really, really quick. Started off the very beginning of the week by getting a call that it was all medical stuff,
oh,
and interesting stuff. You need to call this doctor for this ultrasound, and you need to call this doctor, and the neurosurgeon's name is. And I'm like, who are these people? And where did they come from?
Wait, flag on the play, flag on the play. Neurosurgeon.
Oh, well, apparently the last time I went to the emergency room and got that wonderful thumbs up, yes, everything is fine, no problems, no problems. They had not completed the evaluation on the CT
oh.
scans.
Ooh.
So all of a sudden, I've got all of this stuff that I'm not even going to go into because I'm not even dealing with it.
Okay.
Deal. So, but
Amen.
it'll be nice
Amen.
to meet some new people. So that's the way I'm looking at that.
Okay.
I'm gonna be all right. Okay.
Amen. I like that.
In addition to that, uh, Streaming Inspirational Broadcast Network has the first ever internet broadcasting university.
Oh.
People can get a certificate and actually get a certificate. They are talking about all kinds of things, um, copyright things, and contracts and sponsorships and ads and the terms and difference between podcasts and broadcast. Oh, just a myriad of things. And I'm going to be an instructor.
Ooh, congratulations.
Wow.
So
Heck
my first
yeah.
class is going to be Wednesday night, and my class is called Building Your Voice Box. Building your
Oh,
voice box. So
well,
I'm going to talk about things
congratulations.
having to do with your voice and organization and information and communication and expectation. So it's exciting for me. It is new
It
for me.
is.
Everybody in August is starting with new beginnings. So it'll be new for me. I'm a little nervous about it, but hey, it is what it is. I think I've planned for it. I think I've been into it long enough to offer some advice, and people can build
Definitely.
their
Oh,
toolkit.
wow.
Hmm.
Congratulations.
So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that, and I'm also excited about what Victoria is getting ready to do because she's getting ready to give us the bio information on our guest
Yes,
tonight.
yes, yes. All right. We have a wonderful guest who is no stranger to Authors Up.
Right, right.
All right, y'all help me with these pronunciations, right?
She can help you when she
Okay,
comes.
okay, okay.
I know I can't.
All right, I'm gonna do my best here. I'm gonna do my best. All right, Lucie S. Matsouaka is an author, international speaker, certified professional career coach, and a bilingual personal development coach for emerging entrepreneurs in French and English. She is the founder of, now, yeah, y'all forgive me in advance. She's the founder of La Emergence de l'Entrepreneur, a consulting company. She also empowers, guides, and teaches young entrepreneurs how to navigate the storms of entrepreneurship in order to stand out and be successful. She supports them on their journey by giving them the tools necessary to navigate the emotional roller coasters of it, better their enterprises, and gain sustainable competitive advantage. Rooted deeply in her personal experience and voyages, her trainings are tailored to the social, economical, and cultural environment of her mentees. This offers a unique perspective to the solutions she provides to help them reach their goal. Among her many accomplishments, Lucie has been recognized for her work across the globe. In 2019, she was invited to Brussels to speak at the Golden Artistic Awards Festival. Additionally, she was featured in the Belgian magazine Bruckner in March 2018, as well as several reputable U.S. magazines. In July 2020, she received an official citation from the Maryland General Assembly in recognition of her ongoing commitment to the promotion of peace and human rights. As an international speaking author, she has published two books that have transformed many lives across the globe. Lucie lives in North Carolina with her husband and her children. There's so much more we can tell you about Lucie. She's our guest for tonight. And after this break, we're going to talk to Lucie about her new book, The Phenomenal Leader in Me. We'll be right back.
Hi, Lucie.
Good evening, Lucie.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
We're
Good. How are you
good. We're
doing?
good. It's good to see you. Good to have you back.
It's an honor to be here, ladies. Good evening. How are you?
We're good.
We're good.
Well, you look so beautiful, all of you. Look at you.
Oh,
And you
thanks.
just joined
Are
right
you
here.
getting younger or something?
Look at her. we love
For
you.
me? What's that for me?
No.
We're going to invite you back anyway. So,
Exactly.
all right, Lucie, you have a phenomenal book to share with us tonight. And that is no pun intended. It really is. And before we jump into like the how and the background and all of that, please tell us what it's about.
Wow. First of all, thank you so much for having me once again. It's always an honor for me to be here. This is the second time that I come here, and I'm grateful. Thank you so much. The work you do, I'm not sure if you get enough credit for it. So I want to say, first of all, thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
on behalf
you.
of all the authors that you welcome here in this room. You cheer them up, you encourage them. Thank you so much. Being an author is not a joke. It's not easy. It's hard work. It's a lot of things that we do behind the scene that people cannot see.
Right.
And to have ladies like you who believe in us, I just want to say thank you. So thank you not only for myself, but on behalf of all the people who came before me and the people who are going to come after me. So thank you so much. God bless you.
Oh,
Now, yes.
okay.
Now, when it comes to this book, this new book, wow, it is, I will say it's a leadership book. Let me say it this way. It is, I would love this to become, for all parents out there, the introduction to leadership, to true leadership for their kids. My goal with this book is to I just want to make sure that the next generation, those people who are coming after us, don't think about leadership as something that is all the way here, they cannot reach it. Or I want them to understand that they were all created to lead in certain areas in their lives. Um, and all we have to do is make sure that they grasp certain principles that are going to help them lead, and this book is there to facilitate that. And I put a lot of I will say some key principles to help parents introduce that, because guess what, a lot of parents don't understand the importance of introducing those principles to their kids at a young age. Some people believe they have to wait until they are, or let's say maybe they are in high school, or some people believe this is something they're supposed to start introducing when they are in college or even after college.
Right.
And that is wrong, and some people don't understand that, but some parents really understand that it's important and it's necessary, but they just don't know how to start, they just don't know where to start. So the purpose of this book is to make sure, I just want to make sure that the people who understand the value of those skills or those principles can have, I want to make sure that I want to make it easier for them I
Mhm.
want to be, I want them to do the work without doing the work. I want them
Okay.
to have someone, yes, I want them to leverage a tool to be there with their children and introduce those principles without having to do the work. I want to make it easier for them. That's all.
Okay.
You've done that.
Yes.
Okay. So what is your target audience? How
My
old are the
target
kids?
audience with this book is elementary school
Okay.
kids, I would say. But you know what? From the feedback I receive already from parents, I have parents reading this book already to kids who are 4, 5 years old.
Hmm.
And then even all the way to 12, 13 years old, 14 years old. I mean, I would say, but even I would say that the target is from 6 to 12. Six to
Okay.
12 is a, yeah, but you can go. It doesn't mean that if your kid is 3 years old and can sit down on your lap and listen to a good story, you're not going to do that for them. You're welcome to do exactly that. And if they are 13 and they want to read it, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So given then that it's targeted towards children, we're not talking some dry nonfiction, here's a list of all the attributes you have to have. What is
Mm,
in your book? And I say this because I absolutely, and full disclosure, I helped with the editing and the formatting, and I
mhm.
absolutely love, 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 love your work. So I'm a little bit biased. However, I love the illustrations. I'm giving it away a little bit. I
Yeah.
love how you have it set up. So please tell us what's in the book.
So I, like you said, writing, no, teaching leadership to children is tricky. You
Mhm.
cannot tell a 5 year old kid this is what a leader with good attitude is supposed to look like or sound like or behave. You can't say that to a child. He doesn't understand that language.
Mhm.
As a
Mm-hmm.
parent myself, I know this is not going to work. Um, Facts tell, stories sell, and everybody loves a good story.
Mhm.
And for that age range, you have to tell stories. So
Yes.
I decided to write a few about 28 principles. I would say 28 great qualities of a phenomenal leader.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I decided, and I said to myself, Lucy, how can you make sure that a kid can understand that without the help of a parent? Like if a kid picks up this book, and how can he understand what it means? So I had to pick one word and create a story and tell a once upon a time story
Mm-hmm.
that the child can relate to. And
Mhm.
then, and that was it. I did that for all the stories. So why 28 stories? Because the month has 4 weeks. In
Yeah.
my mind, initially, I was thinking I need that book to be a tool for parents to, I want them to be able to read a story every single night to a child. By the end of the month, it's over. If the kid
Mhm.
is read this fast, that's fine. But if for a small kid, you can come every single night, you read a story. In 4 weeks, you're done, and then
Mhm.
you can come back to it if and kids love stories. They might come back and say, I want to hear about that story again. I want to hear about that. That will happen, I'm sure. But the idea here is you grab one principle, one key value, I would say, and
Mm-hmm.
then you tell a story so they can understand what it means with a few examples at the end. And now I think it's a good package because kids really understand. And by the way, from what I heard from parents already, the kids now go back to their parents and start asking questions, and then it stirs a certain type of conversations in the house, and I'm so happy
Yes.
about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Because
That's awesome.
I know a lot of families where they don't have these conversations. So if
Mm-hmm.
we can start this early, I'm happy.
Yes. Yes.
That
Great.
is awesome. And
Mhm.
honestly, prior to you, when you sent the book, when you sent the manuscript to me,
Mhm.
one of the first things I did was to go online and to search for other books in this genre. And there were not enough books to do what you did with this book. And I want to share this text that you sent me last week. You said, my brother, who is a journalist, read the book and fell in love with it so much that he wrote a detailed review in his journal back home in Cameroon. He says it's a very
Oh.
positive book and that he needs more of that for kids. This is the last part I need to read. I need to share though. When I think I almost didn't publish it because I wasn't sure if it was good enough. So please speak to that, especially that
Yes,
last part.
listen, I remember. Yes, I gotta tell you the story.
Yes.
I initially I was not writing this book. I gotta be. I'm gonna tell you the whole story. Initially, about 3 years ago, I started to write another book, and I'm not gonna release the title of that book yet. But I remember 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, I spoke to Ruth actually, and I said, you know what, I have this book that I have on my heart, and I have so much documentation. I already have a lot of trainings that I've done on this
Mhm.
topic. And everywhere I go with this topic, people seem to love it. And I already tested the this topic in 3 different markets. I tested it in Washington D.C. I had a standing ovation with young people from about 26 different countries.
Mhm.
I went to Cameroon in one city, and I went to a into a religious organization. I did the same training, and I went to another city in a with a UNESCO organization, and I did the exact same training. So in three different organizations, in French and in English, the same training, and I had almost the same response. And I was like,
Wow.
this is something I have to put in writing. And I was struggling with that. And when she was like, yeah, she explained to me what to do. And I said, listen, I'm going to go for it. I started to work on that, and I started to feel overwhelmed. Why? Because it had a lot of my story in it, and I became a little bit emotional. I put it on
Mhm.
the side, and I was like, forget about it for now. And then last year, I said to myself, what is going on? And I started to feel that this idea of a book for younger people, for the younger generation, like a little bit younger than the people I usually work with, came about. And I started to feel like every time I work with kids who are, I would say teenagers from 13 to about 25, I feel like I wish they knew a little bit more. Like I wish they came to me prepared, like with a little
Right.
bit out there. So I started to have this idea, and I started to work on it, but I wasn't really sure, is that really a good idea? So I worked on the book, and one day my daughter Elikia, who's 15, right, as we speak, I said, "Can you just read this and let me know what you think?" She said, "Hmm, are you going to publish this?" I said, I'm not sure yet. She said, I think you should. And I was like, okay. And I read it by my husband, same thing. My son was like, it's pretty good. You know, he's not talk. He's not a
It's all right.
talker. And then I was like, listen, let me see. With all those 3 people in the house, I'm gonna run it by someone a professional. So I reached out to Ruth and I said, please let me know what you think about this. And this is what sealed it. She says to me, she sent me an email and she said, I read the whole thing, and my kids are no longer babies, but I'm just paraphrasing a little bit. I
Mhm.
remember she said, when my kids were growing up, I wish they had, I mean, if I would have loved for them to have a book like
Mhm.
this one.
I agree.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. Now, all the stories are almost there. I'm almost done. And one day I reach out to my big brother who's a journalist and I say, hey, you know what? This is what I'm doing right now because he has an editing company. I mean, he's an editor, he's a journalist, he's been doing it for more than 35 years and he
Mhm.
writes and everything. And I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? I talk about it and he asked me some questions and with his experience and everything, he reads a few things and he comes back to me and say, listen, this is good, but something is missing. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? He's like, it's a pretty good book because you have great stories. Kids can really understand this, but
Mhm.
Hmm.
it remains a fiction. It remains
Mhm.
stories. These are once upon a time stories. I need you to go back to work. You're going to have to find real life leaders or human beings who actually have those qualities. You got to go back. And I'm
Wow.
like, ooh, that's a lot of work. And he's like, listen, either you take it or not. You have to. You can't
Mhm.
just go halfway. You already done. You did the first part. You're gonna have to if you want this book to be a because I explained to him. He asked me what was the purpose of this book.
Mm-hmm.
I explained. He said, "This is good, but you have to go back and get that job done. You have to go back and you have to finish what you started." Because without it, it's going to remain like a fiction to children. Make sure you bring them back to reality and say and
Yes.
show them people who look like them, so
Right.
they can. I was like, yes, that's right. But that was a lot of work, and I think I was kind of like hesitant because it was a lot of work. I had to go back and Google some leaders and read a lot of biography and just try to make sure that I condense them in small paragraph and make sure like you just it was not that was hard. That was I think that's the reason why I was like, ah, this is I'm almost done with the book. Why do I have to go back and do what I'm supposed? I don't do I really need to do this? But I am so grateful
Hmm.
today because my brother telling me we need to go back
Yeah.
and give some real life example. This is it because now a lot of parents say, "Oh my God!" Not only they have the story, but they have someone they can relate to. They have people who
Exactly.
look like them.
Yes.
They have
Yes.
people who sound like them. They have
Yes.
names like real actual people that they sometimes see on TV. And they have, and I was like, "Thank God, that's what happened." And here we are.
Absolutely. And I think that was the best part because you don't use just the average leader.
Right.
You pick from around the world,
Yes,
and it's just, and I think that that's, when we went, as we were completing the book, I was like, no, we got to add your photo because kids need to know, and it's not, they need to see people like them in leadership but also having written the book,
Right.
and it was important for them to see a woman of color. It was important for them to see leaders of color. It was important to them to see in every aspect because it's not just, okay, this person is in politics. No, you have also filmmakers, you have,
Yep.
leaders in different industries, men and women. You know, it's not just, again, not just the fictional stories, but it's also, hey, this is somebody else you can model after.
yes. And by the way, if I have to say something about it, why did I'm just going to explain to you the reason why I chose to
Mhm.
have so many people from different backgrounds and different races and different, I cultures.
Yeah.
First of all, I wasn't even born in the US. I was born in Cameroon. That is a country in Central Africa.
Mm-hmm.
My kids have were born here, but they could have three citizenships if they choose to because their father is from Congo.
Mhm.
So it's already we are already raising two kids in the house who from I would say we already blending three different cultures to
Yeah.
raise them. That's number one. Number two, I work with kids all over the place. We work with the UNESCO youth. We work with people who are in China, in Japan, in Mexico, in Peru, and it's I work with so many kids like Colombia and so many African countries. So I work with with these people, and I refuse to have my work only representing one
Mhm.
group of people. I can't see myself doing it because a lot of a child is a child.
Right.
In my mind, I started to feel like I had to make sure that even if you look at the cover of the book, you're gonna see that you have a little I'm gonna show you something real quick. If you
Yeah.
look at this cover, this little girl, she's a Caucasian girl. This
Mm-hmm.
is actually an Asian kid. If you
Right.
look at the hair, he's Asian, and then you have a little African kid over here, and another girl who's. But I mean, you can see it's like I try to have different races and background, and even inside the leaders, I made sure to pick and choose leaders from different countries. Now,
Mhm.
does that mean that those leaders are perfect? Oh no, none of them are perfect.
Right.
It is very difficult to find leaders who don't have any type of uh, scandal or something.
Right.
But I did my best and I found the ones that I know if a child in Japan picks up this book, he's gonna find his story in that. Even the name that I chose, I even have a young kid in the book. His name is Ahmad. He's a Arab. He's Arabic. Sometimes
Exactly.
exactly. I have French names. I have English names. I have African names. I have Asian names. I don't. It. This is that. My purpose is I want to reach out to the children in the entire world.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say right here, get the book, get the book. Y'all got to get the book, and it has my name in it too. I'm in the story, y'all. Ooh, Victoria. So y'all get it just because my name is in it. That's one of the reasons why I like the book a lot. I was going through the stories. I was like, oh my goodness, this is an international book.
Yeah.
It is international. It's
Beautiful.
global, actually. I would
Yes,
say it's a
global.
global book. It
Yes,
is.
it is.
Global.
It is. Okay, so I can keep going. I can hand it off to you, Andrea, but then you have to ask about the illustrations.
Okay.
I'm telling you what to say.
And I'll start there.
Yes.
Tell us about the illustration. Well, and that is a serious question because every time we have an author on, particularly a children's author that has an illustrated book, we're always interested in what that process is like because the illustrations are so different,
Yes.
with every book, and the journey to find one is so different with everybody. And I love them. Sometimes our books are mostly illustrated, and that takes up a good portion of the book. But all
Yeah.
of a sudden with yours, you turn the page and there's this cute little child that's sitting down, and they're inviting. They're
Yes.
inviting. They're not
Yes.
intimidating at all. They're
Yes.
So tell
Yes.
us how you found your illustrator and how did that process work for you?
That lady, I found her on Fiverr.
Mhm.
Fiverr.
Mhm.
So
heard that one.
I went to Fiverr and I was like, let me just find someone. I looked at their work, how you can go and look at their piece, the work that they do. I reached out and I said, well, this is a project that I have. It's a book for kids, but I'm not going to illustrate all the entire book. It's going to be an introduction to chapter books. So I'm going to have just one image per story. And she was like, okay, well, um, just send it to me. I was like, hold on 1 second. What if I send you one story first and then you illustrate that one and then we can go from there? That's what she did. I sent her the first story on attitude. She illustrated this. She read the story and then she sent me a picture of that little girl who was look at this little girl. She has such a funny, like bad attitude about it. And I was like, oh my God. I was like,
This is
this
it.
is it. This is it. And I guess the only thing I had to change about this one is I think the clothes that she had, I didn't like them that much. Like, can you change that skirt and put something else? She did. And I was like, perfect. That's what we had to do and then I was like, I'm ready to hire you. And
Oh.
yes, I was ready to hire her. And what we did from that point forward, I actually sent the entire book per story, like a whole package, and she was able to read. And as she was drawing the pictures, she was illustrating the stories. She was getting back to me and say, "Hey, I'm sending you those 5, and let me know what you think and everything." So I was I was impressed. She did such. I didn't want something too elaborated. I wanted something that was very simple. So she was able to read each story and create an image that represents that story. So now when parents, when a kid grabs a story, for example, I'm gonna show you my
Yes.
favorite picture.
Show
Please
us.
do.
I
Come
almost
on, come
chose this.
on, come on.
I almost chose this as a cover of the book, and I was like, it's not gonna represent everybody. Look at this little girl. She is so cute. Look at her.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I love
I
Determination.
her.
I adore this
Yes.
little girl. What I love about her is she has those crazy shoes that I don't even know what. She's so cute. When she sent me, so I sent that was on the story about determination.
Yes.
So, and when I sent the story and she sent me that picture, I was like, I was just like, this is the cover of the book. And then I was like, oh, unfortunately for me, I couldn't use that because first of all, she's one person. She's how am I? If I want to the leaf to feel like a global book,
Mm-hmm.
I can't
You
be.
can't.
She
It's just
can't be
one
ten
person.
thousand colors at once.
Yeah.
And then a little boy can look at this and say, that's not me. That's not for me."
Right.
And I was like, "No, we can't have that." So, and then it wasn't. It's pretty good. I love this. I love
Yes.
the images. They are so cute, very cute. It's amazing. I
It
mean,
is.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they're very simple. They're straight to the point. But the thing is, when a kid looks at the picture, he will never know what it is until he reads the story. And once you read the story, now you understand the picture.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Yes, but it enhances the story itself. So it's just it is all a package deal. And I'm jumping in here again, but I just honestly I love the whole thing. It works so well together between all the elements that you have.
Mhm.
I think it is just the perfect package for any child to enjoy.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
want to say about the illustrations, you said you didn't want anything intricate, but as open as they are, they're really delicate kind of drawings,
Mhm.
and they're
Mhm.
they're very open, but you cannot mistake those expressions. Though you, when you got that little girl folding her arms with that, you
You
can't
know,
mistake what that is.
yep.
Yes, yes,
So she does have a level of detail with that really
yes.
does pull that story together.
Yes,
She did a
that
great job.
image, yeah, that image about attitude, you can tell she has really such a
Yep,
bad attitude. This girl, I mean, the
yep.
image is, you can tell she's mad, as she's upset about
She
something.
got an
Yeah.
attitude.
And,
Yes.
and it gets your attention. It makes you wonder what's going on. What's going on?
Yeah.
Why is she like that?
Actually, right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
And
I've
you
got
use
one.
animals too. I was just gonna say you use animals in your stories as well. So it wasn't just people; it was animals that I loved it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I have just one quick question for you.
Uh-huh.
The stories. I love the Once Upon a Time. And I can just hear, a parent reading that. But the stories that you wrote, where did you get them from? Are they things that you went through or your kids went through, or is it all just? I think
It's
I'll
just
this their area.
Yeah, these stories are, my kids are funny. And sometimes we are we have a lot of fun in this family. And then sometimes we say things, we have a little time to just share a few things. And I think Elikia is the most creative in this house. And sometimes she has that little thing where she says, "Oh, well, it's evening time, let's tell stories." So she will sit down over there, and then I know she will have us sit down and share something crazy, right?
Mhm.
And I'm actually a little bit like that as well. So I had to let honestly my imagination go a little bit, and then when I was sending those. So when I was done with each story, I actually had to run it by them, by my family. And I remember two of them, Elikia was like, that doesn't sound okay. Just yeah, so something else. She's like, nah, I don't like this. Can you just and
Really cute.
she will tell you now this is not this is not it. And then or I will finish her story, and then she will come to me and say, you know what, I like this, but I think if I was a child, if I was a child that age, I would, I would need more details. So
Mhm.
can you say a little bit more? Can you explain why this? And my husband does the same. He is very like, this is good, but I think you might have to explain a little bit more of this here. So that's how I was able to
Mhm.
finally, it's a team, guys. It's a team.
Awesome.
Well,
And
I just
I have people who are in this house who will tell me, you can't do that. Don't mess up our name out there, because remember, we have the same last name, so don't mess it up.
well, Greg Daniel and Elikia are not shy.
Nope.
Oh no, they're not. They're not. They will tell you. They will say, "Listen, you say, Mom, remember we have the same last name. Don't, don't. You can't mess up our name over there. Okay, don't do it. Make,
Well, I know that Victoria has some things, and she's just Can't
No,
wait to get in. I just feel that.
I don't know what you're feeling because you guys have asked what I was going to ask. She's answered everything. I've said what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say it again. Get the book because I thoroughly enjoyed the book.
Yeah.
I really, really did. And when you see all of us shaking our heads at one time and we're all smiling, all you see is teeth. We love this book. And this
Yeah.
was one of those. I too feel as if I had this book, I would have gotten it for my kids, and I'm probably going to get it for some of my nieces and nephews, who need to know what
Yes.
leaders look like them. So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful book. How has the book been received since you've had it out? How long has it been out now? I don't think
It's
I.
been out since June 22nd. At the
Oh,
beginning, it was a little bit hard to get it out there like fully. It took a little time, but I think it's picking up right now. And I'm
good.
surprised because the response is really good. So far, so good. Um, just if you go online, go Google the book. I mean, at this point right now, the minute you Google the book, everything is everywhere. It's
Wow.
everywhere, and the reviews are amazing. And
Right.
it's not only the reviews; it's what the parents say.
Mhm.
There are different ways to do a review.
Right.
If a parent takes time to say, if a parent writes a long paragraph and says, this is what I did, I bought this, and this is what my children say,
Right.
and they take time, and even some parent decided to have their kids write the review for them.
Oh,
Oh, that's
I
oh, that's
noticed
so
that. Yes,
nice.
yes. And
that's
then
wonderful.
it's I'm grateful because
Amen. Amen.
if and I tell people who reach out to me personally, either on Facebook or like on Messenger, and who want a book, a copy, like a signed copy of the book, I tell them, please let me know what your kids thinks
Mhm.
about this. And the reason, and I say, please make sure you read this book with them,
Right.
because if you don't do your part, my job is not done. I can't. I want to see children understanding this this concept of, I can be a leader. I was born to become a leader, a
Right.
strong leader, a phenomenal leader. I was born to be this, but it's going to require that I possess this quality.
Exactly.
I don't want the word leadership in the house to be taboo anymore, because a lot
Right.
of people, some people believe that being a leader is only for politicians or people who are, I don't know, they think it's out of reach. It's not. It's right
Right.
there. That's the reason
Right.
why when I started the book, I wrote a letter to kids, and I told them, you don't have to wait until you become an adult. You can start right now. Not
Right.
only
And
you can start with your family members, your siblings, at school with your friends. You can start, just do your part, because I wish I had this information when I was your age.
and that is the
I
power of
really
your
I
book.
really wish I had this information. I'm telling you.
Hmm.
I mean, I usually tell kids when I work with them, I had access to this type of information when I was in my 30s.
Right.
That's too late. Can
Right.
you imagine how much more I was going to do? And I tell them, I'm here to shorten your learning curve. I want to make sure that you get the correct information as soon as possible, so you can start the right way. You know.
Excellent. Excellent. How can our listeners and viewers get in touch with you if they would like to?
Oh, they can just Google my name, LucieMatsouaka.com. My website is LucieMatsouaka.com. They can find me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on a little bit everywhere.
Everywhere you Googleicious. That's
Just
right.
yes, if you just Google Lucie Matsouaka, everything is gonna
All
pop up.
right. All
My
right. Well,
books are
thank
gonna be there. My
you.
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything is there. And they can find me for sure. That's for sure.
Great. See, that's all I had because you guys did it.
Well, Lucy, it is always a pleasure to have you on the program. You do amazing things, and your enthusiasm and your passion for young people and working with young people and making sure that they are equipped with every tool possible is just amazing. It is. It is the phenomenal leader in you
Amen.
that was
Amen.
able to put together such just it's a delightful book. It's an informative book. It is a book that you can see yourself sitting down reading. You can hear
Mhm.
just the comments of the children, and I think that I've just got to echo Victoria. Get the book,
Get the
okay?
book.
That's
Yes.
that's one way to say it is to get the
This
book.
one needs to
Thank
be
you
on your
so much.
shelves.
Yes, the way that you have put it together, it
Mhm.
no chapter is oh I did that before. I saw that before. You have the mixture with the nice Once Upon a Time stories. You
Mhm.
have the real life individuals that people can relate to,
Mhm.
and then you've got that
Mhm.
section where you got some questions dispersed through there also,
Yes.
so
Right.
they can really begin to think about the things that you are
Mhm.
saying to them.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
know you've had a best-selling book before. You've been a part of just great global projects. We know that this book is going to do well. I mean,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
it's already everywhere, and I'm sure that people are talking about it everywhere, and the success of it can only grow. Can
Yeah.
only
Thank you so
grow.
much. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Thank you, Ruth, for saying do the book.
yes, yes, yes.
I
It is
have that
great
feeling as
work.
well. I have that feeling. And
Yeah.
then I would say, if you allow me to say this, um, I am I've done some work before, like you said, but for some reason, this one it's a little particular. In my heart, I feel I'm so proud of this one,
Mhm.
and for two reasons. First, before doing it, because I knew I was going to talk to other people's children, I had two questions on my heart. First of all, what would I want someone else to teach my own children? That was the first question. The
Mhm.
second one was, if I have to face the Lord today, would he be okay with the things that I taught other people's children? So it created
Mm,
in me some type of fear. I had to do this right. I had to make sure that I don't mislead anybody. I had to make sure that I become that ally for parents out there, because the things that I'm trying to teach children over here are the things that every single parent wishes their kids can understand.
Yes.
Right.
So if I can be that ally, and we can join arms and hands like that, and we can get this done, why not? And remember, every single leader you see today is someone else's child. Okay,
that's
so
right.
it's not too
Right.
early to teach leadership to kids.
Right.
It's not. There's no such a thing as, oh, it's too early. No, it's not too early. It's actually, if you waste time, then that's when you're going to find yourself whining and complaining about the leaders of tomorrow. Because the reason why we adults are whining and complaining every single time when we watch TV and when we go to a hospital and we see a doctor who acts a certain way instead of doing his job is just because there are some key principles that people don't master. And if
Right.
we, and I strongly believe that those things have to be taught in the house first. We have to start at home, and you cannot complain about the government if you don't do your part in the house.
Come
If
on now. Pass the plate. Pass the plate. You talking good.
I'm sorry, I got to go there because
No.
that's why I'm
You're right.
so passionate about it. Okay,
You're right.
being because she mentioned the fact that I work with young kids. I chose to work for kids. I say I'm working for them because we're kind of stubborn. People sometimes think they know everything already. You can't tell them anything. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just going to go all the way. I'm going to pass you and go to your children. I want to teach them those key principles that are most of are actually biblical principles. They have to understand those things, because if a leader doesn't understand those things, that's the reason why you see a lot of people prey on people.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Exactly
Absolutely.
right.
if a kid, if we can plant that seed at this moment, it's going to grow. It
Yes.
will grow somehow. That's why I'm doing this.
Well, I
And
tell you what, you're doing a beautiful job at it.
Amen. Amen.
And for me, I have young godchildren, but look, I don't care what age you are, get the book, because there's something that you can impart to somebody
Right.
else,
That's right.
to somebody else's child, to help them to uh, grow in the right way,
I
grow with the
agree.
right principles, grow knowing, the things that we wish we had known when we were coming up. So I think you covered it well. I think you have met your objective in terms of what you wanted the book to accomplish. And now, everybody, just get the book.
Get the book.
Just the book. And those of you who are online, or those of you who will go back and listen to the this broadcast again, remember that this will be replayed on Saturday at 7 p.m. So if you know anybody who has children or anybody who might benefit from this broadcast, be sure that you let them know that they can go to ALH Broadcasting at 7 p.m. on Saturday and hear the replay of this, meet Ms. Lucie, and know a little bit more about the book.
Yep.
The book. That is it. Ruthie, you have any final comments for tonight?
Absolutely. Just real quick. Don't forget that you can also download our podcast. So if you're unable to log on, you can download, with your phone, the audio, or you could actually watch it online at YouTube. They'll be available midweek. So you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can look for us at Authors Up Show. And go ahead and subscribe and follow us, please. And if you have any questions, if you want to be on our show, anything like that, just email us at authorsup@gmail.com.
All right, all right. Victoria, other than get the book, you got.
Nope, I'm done. Thank you, Lucy, for being here again. And please
Yes.
tell those very smart children of yours we said hello.
Yes, yes, we
I
love it.
sure will. Thank you so
We
much.
love
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Of
absolutely,
course.
absolutely. We're looking forward to the next project, because we know that you're not going to stop here, and
Oh, no.
we're just glad that we have a partnership with you, and we are able to help to share all the wonderful things that you're doing, all the wonderful things that you're writing. So thank you again. And listeners and viewers and anybody else out there in internet, radio, and TV land, thank you for joining us tonight. It is always a pleasure to have you with us. This has become our favorite place to be on Sunday evenings at 7
Definitely.
p.m. Be sure to come next week. I would love to tell you what our show is going to be about, but we don't know yet. So you've got to come back so we can enjoy it just as much as we're going to enjoy it. So we'll be right back here next week at 7 p.m. for another edition of Authors Up. Please join us. You never know what we're going to do, but it is always something that will uplift, encourage, inspire, and just plain make you feel good.
Yes.
So thanks for being with us. We'll see you here next week. Love you, Lucy.
Good night.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Night, Bronson.
Night.
Everybody.